Hold on, it's starting.
It is? Oh, it is.
Oh, right.
Footage capture various platform. Alright, welcome to the Square Enix conference, so you know the drill, blah blah blah, have fun.
Yes.
Oh, the Tomb Raider pickaxe and the Crystal Fantasy.
The heroes.
There we are.
Oh, that's we're quoting the tagline. Oh, that's the sort of Dragon's Quest. Dragon Quest, sorry.
Welcome to the Square Enix E3.
So, Pedro, I think
what's
we're
the
going to
ultimate
talk
name for
about
it?
the Dragon Quest
Dragon Quest 11, yeah.
No, man. What did they
Hey,
use to call
Matsuda.
Dragon Quest everywhere else?
So, by what particular video game character you're gonna have to be beaten today?
I wonder.
Not well, not Hitman, because
Calling it now, calling it
now we're Warner Bros.
Calling it now, Masuda's gonna turn out to be the true villain of Kingdom Hearts 3 by the end of it.
That would be amazing. No, that would be Nomura, Jova. Nomura is more involved in it.
Ah, what IDOS
He will probably have some pretentious fourfold breaking and says, I am the author, so therefore I'm the top
Tia, what
gun. Hold on. Well, we're starting with, I think, Tomb Raider.
What IDOS IP haven't they used yet?
Fear of...
Dwebs, I'm still waiting for Square Enix to revive Marco's Magic Football.
Also several bleeps. Gex, Anachronics, Daikatana.
What's he use Daikatana?
Legacy of Kain, for example. Well, Legacy of Kain, we have that MMO, but no one cared about, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we saw a bit of it in the Microsoft conference, but this seems to be new footage, actually.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you, Tomb Raider. Whoops. I mean, considering she calls this the apocalypse, I think whoops is a,
The epic conclusion of the trilogy.
I mean, damn, I thought Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming was a clumsy fuck, but Lara topped him a little bit.
Reeves, you're more navigated to me in the Tomb Raider franchise. Do you think that even if we stopped after the trilogy, try something new, there's still potential for something more? Because it seems to me that at this point, the Tomb Raider franchise has gone far and beyond and tried everything.
Well, it's not like... what I remember here is, we've had this kind of thing before, you know. Remember them Lara Croft spin-off?
I don't mean in terms of continuity, obviously, Dweebs. I'm talking about in, for example, settings, story ideas, character traits, and everything.
Well, when Angel of Darkness crashed and burned, they kind of dropped that continuity and moved on to the Legend one, and then that trilogy was complete. It actually had an intended ending, so they moved on to a new continuity.
Meh.
Also,
hey,
I won my T-Rex boss fight. Where is it?
I want to be able to wield Thor's hammer again.
So,
And be turned into gold by standing on Maida's hand.
So let's see, if my observations are correct, it's looking like Square Enix is basically gonna do this like a Nintendo Direct.
So, back-to-back trailers and stuff like that?
Makes sense.
That's fine.
That's the best. It's a result of the reception of the previous conference.
Is it gonna be 60 minutes or 90 or more?
Oh, the bull is back.
I don't know.
They didn't say. Oh, there you are. There's some gameplay.
Yeah.
Jaguar's Fear.
So this is turning into Batman Arkham. Sure, why not? It's fine enough for me.
Well,
Yeah,
Tomb
it was only a
Raiders.
matter of
I
time.
think previous Tomb Raider games have had stealth in some.
No,
Stealth makes more sense than
honestly,
than other
I love
things.
the Batman Arkham style of stealth missions, so the more the merrier for me. And
And
also,
remember,
people don't
funny enough,
remember that. People don't
Square
remember
Enix owns a
much.
bit
Hold
of
on, Dwebs,
Rocksteady.
let you finish.
Sorry. Also, people don't remember much, but before Warner Bros. Actually, stepped the balls deep into the video game industry, the first Batman Arkham Asylum actually was co-published by Eidos and Square Enix. So technically speaking, they kind of had a part in it. Whee! Killing people is fun.
Even the meter that they use to show how someone's aware of Lara's looks like the one from Uncharted 4.
Oh, so wait.
It has camouflage?
Yeah, Dweebs, I'm asking you. Did also Rise have this mechanic of covering yourself in mud in order to camouflage?
I'm not totally sure on that
She's
one.
going full Rambo on this.
So wait, hold on. So you get XP, stealth mechanics.
It's
Wait,
more RPG.
Well, the XP has been a thing since the 2013 reboot.
She's invisible.
Well, they're owned by a company who's famous for
yeah.
making RPGs, so that's something, I guess.
Creeping.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just walk on, see his friend's bodies, and go, "Wait, what the fuck?"
You're asking too much.
Whoa, hey, that's a nice neon helmet you got there.
That's terrible for this environment.
To be
You're
fair,
just asking
Shiroi,
for
to be
it.
fair, Shiroi, Tomb Raider now is owned by a company that has regularly characters with short sleeves, clothes running around in glaciers. So, yeah. To be fair, though, Sora did complain about the cold in the Frozen War, so that's legit.
Yes. Guess the cold does bother him.
Yeah, but Laura's kind of used to the cold, and considering her occupation.
And having been those frozen wastelands in Rise.
That cut was kind of bad.
By the way, without spoiling, so if it's spoilery, don't tell me, dweebs. Did that subplot that was shown in the trailers with the psychiatrist went anywhere in the actual game, for all you know?
Again, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play. I got to play the first Tomb Raider reboot game, the 2013 one. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play Rise.
All right then. Well, I'm sure.
Has anybody played Rise here?
You're not
Okay.
missing much.
I only played the
Alright.
first
Well, did
three
you play it,
Tomb
Joe?
Raider games.
Did you play it, Joe? You didn't tell me that.
Thought I told you I had played it.
Well, maybe you can answer me that, Joe.
Okay, what's your question?
Did that subplot that was shown in the trailers with the psychiatrist actually went anywhere? Non-spoilery like.
God, that would be spoiling.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Yes, I still want to play the game. Please, no spoilers.
Also, I saw also in the trailer of Microsoft there seem to be a lot of underwater sections here. Weird.
So it's Tomb Raider Underworld 2.
Oh god, no.
Oh boy.
One thing that I was always nervous about was the having underwater section in the old Tomb Raiders because it's very stressful. It's like Sonic in a way, just without the music.
But where would you be able to punch sharks in the face?
Just like
Batman.
Anyway. All right, proper trailer. Okay.
I fucking hate Cradle of Life.
Where'd that come from?
Cradle of
Yeah,
Life.
that's the film where the
She
shark
punches
No.
a shark in the face.
Oh, that. You were referring to that. It says
Remember,
something.
she then uses the shark to get
Yeah,
to the surface faster.
Yeah, I'd rather.
don't
Again,
get
I
it
much
either.
prefer the first Tomb Raider film and the 2018 one.
Well, yeah, no
I'm not
argument
saying
there.
either of those. I'm not saying either of those two are that good, but
Not to mention, if you want to see gratuitous violence against sharks, there's Sharknado.
All too true.
How many times have I fallen into water like that?
Too many to
Wait, what's
count.
this?
It's like I'm cursed.
Oh,
Shadow
it's,
of the Tomb Raider, yeah.
I think this is.
Oh, a new Bravely game?
No, it's Final Fantasy 14, I think, because people connected worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Stormblood. Yeah, it's an extra patch expansion of Stormblood. Which, in case you haven't noticed by the music trailer, yes, we're having basically a separate storyline that is based on Ivalice, which include elements from Tactics and 12.
Sure.
It was to be expected.
At the end of the day, though, it's still MMO, so obviously if you don't like MMOs, you're gonna be, and there you go, the Zodiac Stones.
Whose bright idea was it to put a tower on the edge of a waterfall?
Actually, Dweebs, it's explained in lore in 12. Basically, it was a gigantic pharaoh lighthouse to guide people and to tell them to stay away from the waterfall. So, there you go.
I mean, how do people get to and from work? And teleport? I don't think, and they can't afford to teleport all the time.
They gotta save up on that MP.
Maybe they operated from a
Actually,
separate building.
they use the
They use
special
guild to
crystals
pay
tele-
for.
No, actually, the crystal. The guild you're using them in Rabanastre to teleport with the Mulkos. All right, then. But that's whatever. Next.
Under the moonlight. It's a patch.
Hi, Aaron.
Cows, buffaloes, excitement. Oh, Monster Hunter collab.
Monster Hunter?
Okay then.
Wait, a collaboration with Monster Hunter? Well,
There
okay.
you go. That's
Because they
another
think-
check to see the two check.
Well,
the site.
Jova, Monster Hunter collabs with anything. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Peace Walker had a Metal Gear Solid. Peace
Pedro,
Walker had a
Pedro, Pedro.
collaboration with.
I know that. Even Ace Attorney had a collab with Monster Hunter.
Well, but Ace Attorney is
Fighting,
Capcom, so...
fighting a
That kinda makes
Rathalos
sense.
in an MMO. That's interesting.
When are we
actually.
gonna get? When are we gonna get Final Fantasy 14 cross Ace Attorney? That'd be a combination I'd watch.
Who knows?
What do you mean, never? There's
Yay!
Ace Attorney is a series where they talk of a
There's
parrot.
also
and
a free
dog.
trial if you want. Also, do you? I think.
I mean, I have.
Hold on,
because
what's
I
next?
was saving money.
Oh, I think this is that spin-off of Life is Strange of that kid
Yeah.
that has imagination.
Oh,
Before
goody.
the-
Maybe we'll see more
Before
about
the
it.
Storm, I think it's called.
No, it's the
No, that's
Marvelous
a big one.
Adventures of Captain Soft.
The
Oh, okay.
power of imagination.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll see
Imagination.
get to see more about what this is actually about.
It looks like the same trailer, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it-
I know.
it's-
Well, I know it looks like the same trailer. I'm thinking after the said trailer.
It's like an
Maybe.
indie film version of Captain Underpants.
Maybe we'll get some gameplay? Or... Oh, no.
Oh, okay, this
Well,
is
this-
different.
Oh, hello.
Well, there's not much gameplay you can have in a game like Life is Strange.
I
Just
know,
move
that's
around and press
Why I
buttons.
kind of said it like a question.
Well, remember, this is not Life is Strange, Dribs. This is a different game, just in the same universe.
Yeah, they're all still going to be called Life is Strange, but with the different, subtitles probably.
So it's part of the universe.
So the
and there's
boy
free
is a
game.
psychic?
So he's a Stephen King child.
Okay, I get why they put on the subtitles.
It's still not the second game!
Okay, I get the okay. I get the accents. I get the subtitles because some people might not be able to understand the accent, but I don't know. I can hear them just fine.
It's not even just that. From what I've heard, season 2 of Life is Strange was received mixed. Is that mixed reception?
No, that's the prequel.
That's a prequel.
That's the prequel.
Yeah, Pedro.
Oh, is it
Strange
prequels?
still yet to be
Maybe
released.
we need to write this down.
Oh, really? Well, whatever. The point is, the second batch
Okay.
of stuff.
Okay, so there we
I
go.
liked
Also
it.
that,
It wasn't as
Anyway,
good as the original
anyway.
game, but I liked it.
Also remember, Pedro, it wasn't that one wasn't developed by Dontnod.
So
but someone
anyway,
was
guys.
outsourced. Yes, Jova?
So yeah, we have confirmation that they're saying right here and right now this is not Life is Strange 2.
We knew
Just
that
being
yesterday.
honest.
Well,
It's a
we know,
spin-off.
Jova. It-
So
it is
They
also like
basically-
a-
hold
that
on,
he-
let me
he's
speak,
gonna
let
play
me
an
speak.
important part
So
on the story.
Well, it
Again,
makes sense also for them to be released it completely free. Anyway, wait, what's this? Oh, Dragon Quest.
Yay!
Unfortunately, we won't be getting the 3DS version.
I prefer the console version anyway. So
But that has a dual play screen feature thing.
maybe an eventual mobile release of that.
yeah.
Yay, well, there you go, Pedro, also with the British voice act.
Yes. Well, remember too. Ever since
Hey,
Honeywood.
we're using that formula, yes.
Yeah.
So you're meaning also to tell me that almost all of these dialogue that we're also hearing now in the Japanese version was only text?
My
Yes.
name is Rustus.
This
I'm a
is- this is- this
Japanese
is kinda-
anime character from
this is how-
Blackpool.
Again, too, like it was because of the big reception, the fantastic reception that 8 got in the West, that specifically the localization, that Square Enix of America has kept that particular formula. Okay,
Oh,
we'll
the legendary blade.
we'll add more voice acting, and then of course the Japan gets their own international version with Japanese voice acting. I just wish we'd fucking get a fucking orchestral soundtrack, but instead of fucking MIDI, but whatever.
Cold
Fun,
Steel.
fun fact, Whips. I'll take not that much voice acting over MIDI music. Just saying.
Well, considering the hardware on that, you can have a lot of both.
You can, but if I have to choose, I'll pick that one. That's all I'm saying. Fortunately, there's a PC version coming, which means fans will mod it and make a version that has the Symphonic Suite album, so I can just play the game the way I want.
Yeah, I'm fine with it either way.
Anyway, this is definitely a return to
Seal the
form.
Dark.
Definitely. This is the successor to Dragon Quest VIII that fans have been wanting for so long.
So what's this on? It's on Switch, PS4,
Switch,
And
PS4, and
PC.
PC.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Dragon Balls.
So basically everything
The
except
Dragon Emeralds.
so basically everything except Xbox One.
Dragon Emeralds, right?
Well, Dragon Quest was never on Xbox, I don't think.
No.
No,
And the trend will continue.
at least for the time being.
What is on Xbox these days?
Well, the thing, Dragon Quest
Kingdom
not.
Hearts 3, Shiroi.
Which is
Nier
interesting.
Automata, Shiroi.
Which is interesting too, because Dragon Quest 11 is using the
And
Unreal
there
Engine
we
4.
go. Dragon's Quest
So
Echoes of an Elusive Age.
11 is actually using the Unreal Engine 4, so it would have been really easy for them to release an Xbox One version. But I guess
What's this now?
Hold on.
Chick, old guy, little
Presentation.
girl, blue hair, slimy looking
It's the
dude.
party, the playable party. Edition of Lightning Stores, September.
sure.
With the
And
yeah.
The Square Enix has said that if this does well, they'll make games that are just for Switch.
Well, makes sense.
Of course it's gonna sell.
Well, now with these kinds of games, it's always kind of pointless with still on.
I mean,
the
Marvel
Bravely
got-
games
I
actually
mean,
sold really well for
Well,
it.
you'll be surprised. Apparently, it's better glad selling better on the Switch anyway.
I mean, not really, dudes. I mean, more often than not, you see these games pretty much sell well because they're well within their budget.
Download. This is Momotoi Sakuraba music. Oh. This doesn't look like. Like Octopath now.
No.
What?
No.
Is this like, I don't know, Motoi Sakura? What scores has he done before?
A
Tales
lot
of-
of things with the Star Ocean, Valkyrie Profile. Maybe this is the game that Hirobaba is working on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Baba's game.
Babylon's Fall. Oh, a new thing.
A new IP. Okay. Cool.
Sure.
Nice. Well, we
Okay.
always do like to see
Developed
new
by
ideas.
Platinum Games.
Platinum Games? Oh god.
Yes.
PS4 and Steam.
PC.
Okay.
There you go.
Here we
More
go
for
again.
Kamiya.
Here we go, Platinum, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Platinum, for making us money. Here, you do something.
Alright then, next year coming.
2019.
Sure, call me interest. What's this now? Ooh, Automata!
Nier Automata, yay.
Is it the
Is this
the,
about the
new
Xbox?
edition?
Become as God's edition, yeah.
Become as
Is it going to be
Gods.
announced for the other
What?
consoles?
Let's see.
Considering the options on PC,
Coming to
technically a Switch
Xbox,
version,
uh-huh.
a Switch version that is downgraded would work.
Oh yeah, Switch
So-
version can easily work.
How much would they have to downgrade it,
Oh.
though?
Yeah.
Not that
Well,
much.
I don't think much, but it's more of a thing that it is possible, so there is a possibility it lives.
Okay, they so far
Yeah,
have
this
only
is the
mentioned
trailer we
the...
already
It's
saw.
on.
It's
only
weird though.
Microsoft.
They've only mentioned the Xbox version.
Apparently it's...
Oh my
apparently
god,
the
so
edition is exclusive.
so it's
Oh, there you
apparently
go.
exclusive
This
to the
is
Xbox.
This is
Octopath, I
Octopath,
think.
okay.
so
Yeah.
only Xbox One. Huh.
And Microsoft Store, so PC also.
Well, what do you know? Microsoft
Also,
took...
it's never out on the Xbox to begin with.
Well, what do you
Yeah,
know?
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
Octopath.
sorry, guys. We spent too much money on the CGI trailers before, so we have to do the rest of the trailers
Oh,
with them
Nintendo
weird
Switch,
lines.
goody.
things.
Remember, John, this
Well,
is
yeah,
Octopath.
Octopath.
Yeah, the game's on Switch.
I really commend the team for actually managing to make each character different enough in its own way. Like, you're not just cosmetic in a sense, oh, this character is a dancer, so she just dances around. No, she actually has her quirk and everything, and each of them has their own quest, things to do. It's truly the spirit of Live Alive.
Available July 13th, 2018.
What is this? Don't tell me it's... Wait, what the hell? Oh, it's a Just Cause 4, okay.
Of course.
Alright.
It looks fine.
Whoop whoop, motherfuckers.
Well, so far this is this is turning out to be the best conference for me. Not only they're showing really good stuff at a good pace, but their stuff is very much more interesting than everything we've seen so far.
Yeah. I think the Nintendo Direct approach definitely suits Square.
The Nintendo Direct approach suits everyone. They should all do
that. For Bethesda last year,
and it did not. Well, okay.
I thought that conference last year was fine.
Okay. I'd say it actually did work fine enough for Bethesda. Who it did not work for, though, is Microsoft, if inside Xbox is anything to go by.
Rich in all forms of life. At first
Dear
Solis is a beautiful location.
Dear Automata.
Yakutara's latest creation.
Yes, that's right.
It takes place in the same universe as Sonic Horses.
No, it's a Bambi remake.
So basically, the gimmick of his new game is that sometimes tornadoes will spawn and for you to have fun with.
Which I guess does throw in a few things, seeing as how you spend a lot of Just Cause games free-falling and gliding. So
not just that, Jova. Just Cause games are mostly, again, pure Michael Bay mindless action. You blowing shit up.
It's not only tornadoes, it's extreme weather conditions.
So, from what I
understand,
blowing
shit up in the most crazy and stupid way possible.
To be fair,
There's a place for that, honestly.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining.
To be fair, hold on, let me finish. To be fair, there's a bit more to Just Cause 2 than just the mindless explosions as well. Like, Just Cause 2 has a pretty well-written story to go with it. I mean, granted, the things people remember for, of course, the crazy things you can do in the
closest
other world.
story gets is there's this generic dictator in South America. Go kill it.
I mean, well, yeah, that's the thing on the surface, but there's a lot of. Yes, that's the thing. Yes, that's the thing on surface. Yes, but there's also a few layers to the story. I'm not gonna say, well, it's brilliantly written, but it is sophisticated enough to get the job done. I can't really remember much of Just Cause 3, though. I mean, it wasn't bad per se, but it was in many ways a downgrade, sadly. Oh wow!
Well,
you can
I guess it didn't help that Avalanche were making like 50 games that year.
And we're also doing it easier. Remember, they're doing Rage 2. We're doing their own self-published game called Generation Zero, and now we're doing also this.
I think they have two development studios. One in Sweden, the other somewhere else.
It's sad because I wanted them to get soon to do another open world game for Warner Bros. Similar to what they did for Mad Max. So knowing that they're now busy with this, it's a bit sad on that front. But again, what they're developing now is not garbage. It's clearly something good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen much of Generation Zero, but it seems their traditional solid open world stuff. So there you go.
Yeah.
Bring the Thunder, December 4. All right.
What's next?
There we go.
What the hell? Oh, it's Metropolitan New York, Jova?
Yeah, looks like it.
And it got destroyed.
You'll get your
No,
trippy
maybe
game.
it got
like
shattered.
Maybe it's the
Wait,
Avengers
come
game?
on, be the Avengers Project, be the Avengers Project. Come on, baby, form that A.
That's not
no,
a
it
name.
looks
That's
like
not an A.
It forms a
It's
B.
Doctor Doom. It's Doctor Doom.
Holy shit, that would be amazing.
A Doctor Doom game.
Come on.
That's...
No.
I...
Wait, could it be
Wait,
Hitman?
who are you?
Or a Square Enix making a movie.
Hitman is
Never mind.
in Warner Bros.
They
Oh,
rebought.
maybe Sleeping Dogs 2?
That would
Maybe.
be interesting.
Maybe.
Sleeping Dogs
Square-
was a pretty good game.
Square is bringing back FMV games.
But haven't the development studio that made the first one gone bust?
Well, that wouldn't stop me to use
Maybe
another
they
one.
revived them or got back some of the key members.
No?
Slowly turning back to
Or
him.
is he?
and-
Where did
Is
the
he-
sound went?
No.
What?
Apparently the guy's he's deaf, so it's a video game adaptation of Baby Driver.
Okay, we've crossed over to gameplay.
Silence.
And then,
Rings.
pow! Punch!
Loudest. The Quiet Man.
A new
Oh,
IP.
Rings.
Sure, I guess.
Loudest.
That
That's it.
was,
Go fine.
Yeah, it was
More to
fine.
come in August, so at Gamescom. Alright then, sure. PS4 and Steam. But who's doing it? Oh, there you go, Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Let's see what we got now.
Yeah, this is most
More to
likely
come
the trailer from the
Super
orchestra.
high definition Keyblade. Look at all these.
Oh,
Yeah,
look,
this is most
James.
likely the trailer that everybody who went to the orchestra concert saw.
We'll see. Or maybe it's something completely new.
Or maybe it's the
Oh,
same.
wait,
Light
it's
is
the
gathering
same
together.
trailer.
Hearts driven by one
Yes,
oath,
it
one
is.
purpose.
Oh, never mind. It's the same trailer again. Oh, you could show you could show us the
It's
orchestra
even less,
trailer.
It's lacking the cutscene of Sora freezing in the ice.
I think
yeah,
you could
that's
show us
true.
the show us the orchestra trailer, guys. Come on.
Well, they might show something else after
When they
this.
said exclusive for that concert, they really meant it.
Again, maybe Microsoft really paid money just to get that trailer.
Oh my god, Reindeer Heartless! Also, thanks, Elsa.
Don't really. It really shows how misguided Microsoft is because they shouldn't. If they think a lot of people are gonna buy it on the Xbox One.
Meh.
Commend them for trying.
Not just that, Pedro, again, it's like what I kept mentioning, the fact that they did not anything to continue the support and encouraging people to buy, in a sense of not having the 2.5, well, 1.5.
Ratatouille.
Wait, Ratatouille?
Yeah, Ratatouille.
Yay, Ratatouille!
Wait,
This is the orchestra trailer.
Ratatouille is one of my favorite Pixar movies.
wait. Hold on,
Same.
Red Elsie. I think it's something different. I think it's bits merged from the Microsoft trailer with the orchestra trailer.
Sure, why not then?
Two
Probably.
for the
Yeah.
price of one.
They squished them both together like
But
a
again, the
sandwich.
fact that the Xbox One doesn't have the compilation that includes everything from the PS4 version, or plus, I guess, 2.8. Hi, Sigvar.
Hey, Zigbar.
Don't you mean Zigbar North?
Well, everyone is fucking Xehanort at this point.
Yeah. Mickey.
Oh, hey, Mick.
I'm surprised Riku is
Why
not
is he
being killed again
cosplaying
today.
as Solid Snake?
Oh my god! The trio from
Probably should
Twilight
be.
Town.
Oh, this
Hi,
is the new
Rapunzel.
song from
Princess.
Utada Hikaru.
Still no sign of
I
a
like
frying
it.
Keyblade pan.
Again, Joe, we haven't seen any key holder.
Oh my god,
furniture
guys!
yet.
Actual NPCs in Olympus Coliseum!
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday.
No. I mean, go
People
in.
here.
Wow.
Yeah, I noticed that, Joe, in the Microsoft conference. Anyway.
So what's the headcanon? Were they consumed by the darkness and that's why they're invisible? And why the fudge are you here, Larkseed?
Roxas does exist. His heart's inside my heart.
In that case, by all means.
No, I got it. She's they wanted Deadpool, but they couldn't get him, so they replaced Deadpool with a previous character who's breaking
Also,
the fourth
why
wall
do
and
you
causing-
keep,
wrecking everything.
pretending Hainer, Pence, and OLED are somewhat important?
They're trying to bring
I like
Roxas
the
back.
underpants and all that.
Oh hey,
They're grossly
Zexion.
underutilized anyway. I don't know why could you do to make them better.
Mickey.
Alright, yeah, I get it. Aqua's been spending too much time. Oh, hello.
Oh, there we go. This
Oh,
is
Yeah,
the,
Lee!
yeah. Yeah, there was. Yeah, it seems like this was.
Sounds like-
Oh my god, Lee
Yeah,
and
it sounds like
Kyrie!
it's-
It seems like it's the opposite, Joe. But like
What?
the trailer we saw yesterday, that was maybe
Sounds like a Ed
slightly
Sheeran
edited down
song.
version of the orchestra, trailer, and
Alright,
this
let's
is the
see.
orchestra
Ribs, get
trailer.
the heck out of this call.
Um,
Right now.
except
Out
Pedro.
of this call.
Yeah.
Wait,
Any-
don't tell me it's already over. It can't
Yeah.
be.
Wait,
any-
it's over?
No,
Oh my
it
God.
can't be. This is montage. There is a montage, but that doesn't make any sense.
Anyway, Pedro, to answer your question, we've already got people saying that, the Frozen stuff was actually not in the orchestra trailer, so, I mean, to say that, the Microsoft thing was an edited down version of the orchestra trailer would not work because, Frozen would have had
Oh,
to
we
have
know
been
that
in the
now,
orchestra
so-
trailer to be there.
Fine, whatever.
So, at a Square Enix conference, we got something that's apparently only coming to Microsoft stuff.
That was it?
What?
What? Are you
That's it?
serious?
Are you
What?
serious? That was
What?
it?
That's it? That's it? What?
Apparently.
Who's left alive?
Where's
How
Final
long was the
Fantasy
last-
VII?
How
Where's
long
the
was
new
the last
Dissidia?
conference?
Tune in for more exciting updates.
The last
during
conference
E3.
was over an hour long, Dwibs.
I'm
What?
okay. I'm expecting the 7 remake to show at Sony at this point.
Well, maybe.
Well, that'll be a bigger platform.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, this is not gonna cut it. Like, I
That was
appreciate the
weak.
stuff that was shown, but no, sorry.
Square
Are you guys saying that just because 7 didn't show up?
No,
Dweebs.
It was.
No, Dweebs. It's also
We're
because
not that
several.
fickle, Dweebs.
Also,
It's not
Dweebs,
just that.
because several other games did not show up. You know, because I was expecting more in a sense that there are other things the screen should talk about, like again, Left Alive, or that remake they were doing of the first Fear Effect, for example.
I mean,
Or
not...
maybe other new surprises, but well, there were new surprises, but we were like, what, 2 new IPs? The new Platinum Games title and the Silent Man.
Not to mention the fact that, okay, even going off of what they actually did show, we didn't really learn much new stuff about what they showed. Like, Octopath, we already knew the release date, so we didn't really see anything new.
Nier Automata on Xbox, we knew that...
Kingdom Hearts 3, I mean, yeah, it's good that we got some confirmation, but a lot of those scenes were already leaked or whatnot. I mean, we didn't even really see that much new gameplay, no new lore about it, just again, a delayed release date. I mean, look, I know the game's coming, but... Again, I mean, look, the only reason this is not the weakest E3 is because EA's E3 of 2018 is a thing. Like, this is above that. I mean, you know, it's such a shame because, you know, a lot of the stuff they showed, I'm interested in, I liked, but it was so weak content-wise that I'm sorry, I had to give this one a C.
C for what?
C on the grading scale.
Could try harder.
All right, let's give our final.
C.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We didn't even get to see the Avengers project.
Yeah, what the fuck is the Marvel game that
Maybe that'll appear at Sony.
Maybe they're saving it for D23 or something.
Or the PC conference at this point.
Either it's Sony or it is my theory, guys. It
we
might
don't
not be
even
true.
know if it's exclusive to Sony.
Okay, here's my theory. Maybe because Crystal Dynamics are also working on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the game kind of got held back.
Yeah, well, even still, you'd think that they would have mentioned it.
Yeah.
But no, nothing. Like, and again, let me remind you, they've been hyping up Avengers Project.
Well, that's another thing, Jova. Aren't people typically critical of just mentioning a game but not showing anything?
Dweebs?
Yeah. They wanted to avoid that trap.
Here's the thing, Dweebs. Read between the lines. Some people ask for something, others ask for others. And look, at the very least, a mention would do well. I mean, now, okay, look. With Avengers Project, people would be okay with a mention because, like, well, you know, Avengers Project is just starting. See, it's with a game that's been in development for way longer that we don't care for just a mention, essentially. Like, and trust me, it wouldn't be the first time Square has screwed the pooch on something, so people are apprehensive on if a lot of that stuff is gonna even exist. I'll go more into it with my final thoughts, but for now, who wants to go first?
Can I go first?
Sure.
I was just gonna say, I don't know, what people want from E3 seems to alter every year.
Well, you gotta pay attention to certain people groups, and remember, not everybody thinks the same.
I don't know. Well, I'll just look out for number one in this case. But anyway, for me personally, you know, I much prefer these kind of conferences. You know, they're short, yes, but you know what? You know, there's at least a game announced every time. I mean, I guess that's the only thing Square can do, considering they're not console makers yet. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. I mean, there's a few games that I personally wouldn't really go out of my way to buy. There are some that I might pick up, but not immediately. So really, at the end of the day, I think most of it's just down to my own personal preference.
Pretty much.
There you go, done.
For me, it's like they showed a lot of cool stuff, but they should have shown more. That's basically the only real problem I have with this conference, that it's too short, and it should have been longer. They should have showed something else. Yeah. They have other stuff like the new Hideo Baba project. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure by this point they should have something to show about that. And like I feel like they're probably maybe thinking, oh, we'll show some stuff on E3 and then some stuff on Gamescom. Sure. That's that might end up fine in the long run, sure. But in terms of judging this particular conference, it was too short. Like, it should have been at least 1 hour long. I'm pretty sure with the other stuff they've got going on, they could have at the very least managed to fill at least an hour.
It didn't help that a lot of the stuff shown here we've seen at other conferences and probably will see at other conferences. Like, I hate to say it, Microsoft... That
was what I was afraid of yesterday.
Like, you know, I hate to say it, Microsoft did a better job at showing stuff. Like, again, they've got the exclusivity issue, but Microsoft really showed some more stuff that'll be unique to the Microsoft brand, whereas Square, like, again, we've already seen about Octopath at Nintendo's Direct. We've already seen about Kingdom Hearts 3 and Microsoft. They just added in some extra scenes. We already saw about Just Cause 4 at Microsoft.
I'm sorry, Jeb. I just saw a tweet. Like, I don't care how much you hate this conference, this person's whose tweet I've just seen. This is not worse than EA.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said.
Again, it's hyperbole.
Well, it's like I said.
Just write them off.
Well, it's like I said, Wibbs. I mean, if this is not worse than EA's, like, well, again, the only reason this is not the worst E3 is because EA's 2018 one was a thing. Anyway,
Whatever.
Go on, Pedro.
Oh, go ahead, Pedro.
But aside from that, like I said, well, while it is true that Microsoft showed more stuff, I'll still take this one because at the very least they don't actually they didn't. There's not an elephant in the room that they refuse to address. At the very least.
I don't know. Final Fantasy VII's development issues are becoming a bit of an elephant for me with Square.
True, but
we'll see, Jova. I guess your claim can be true if it indeed doesn't show up at Sony either today.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go. Well, and like I said, I'm really interested in everything that's been shown here. So yeah, it's fine. It's nothing great, but it's fine enough. My only complaint that you should have filled an hour with more stuff. That's really the only complaint I have. But that's really it.
Sure, you next.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sure. Like, I understand why they can't show a lot for, you know, some of the, you know, the new stuff, because they probably don't have a lot. So that stuff's fine. But for the rest, even if they didn't have any gameplay to show, like any new gameplay, they probably could have done some more, you know, mini developer interviews, because those were sprinkled throughout there. I would have taken those over, you know, just a trailer, because essentially what this, like, I think it was actually, I'd put it a little bit lower than a Nintendo Direct, because at least they talk a bit in those and actually explain stuff. What I feel like I watched here was like a trailer compilation, like a recap kind of thing, not an actual conference. So
well, it's not a conference. It's a presentation.
Well, it's still technically a conference, just done in, you know, the presentation
in order
style.
for it to be a conference, it has to be in front of people. But what conference have you heard of where it's just one person just talking?
Corporate talk. Yeah,
but
like
that's
a lot
corporate
of jobs
talk.
will
That's
involve that.
corporation, not in front of the general public.
You'd be surprised, Ribs. Anyway, well, actually, yeah, Bethesda did that last year. Anyway, continue, Shirai.
I'm hoping that, you know, because Sony stage is a much bigger platform, maybe they'll show some more in-depth stuff there. I'm not really expecting the Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff, but it would be kind of nice if we had something new on that. And I think the only I know they've had, you know, genuine development issues, but I think one of the other contributing factors to why we haven't seen any more of that is because Kingdom Hearts is about to come out and it's already been delayed. I know it's only by a month, but they've probably had to slow down on the 7 stuff to deal with this for a while, which is understandable. So you can't really, like, we'll see what happens at Sony, but you can't really blame them for not bringing up 7 for the moment, I don't think.
I can imagine what they'll say when they come out. Sorry guys, the reason we didn't show the 7 remake is because someone accidentally pressed the delete key and all the code went.
Would not surprise me, considering that's kind of what happened with our Final Fantasy VII 9 stuff and why a remaster took forever.
Yes. Yeah, we accidentally pressed the delete button.
That's kind of what happened with a few of their assets.
But yeah, aside from the Kingdom Hearts stuff, which I'm obviously looking forward to anyway, the Life is Strange episode seems fine. I mean, those aren't great, but I found them enjoyable enough so far. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. And apart from that, I think this was a pretty below average conference, honestly.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, Marco.
I just basically have one word, and that's disappointing. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
I was expecting some big announcements. I mean, I'm happy that Platinum is making another game. I can never get enough Platinum, but yeah, that's probably the high point for me. I mean, I like Kingdom Hearts, of course, but they didn't show us anything new, so it's like, okay. Yes, Kingdom Hearts is still a thing. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's basically it, yeah.
Alright, Pedro, have you gone already?
Yeah, it's only me left.
Yeah,
I agree with Marco. It's more disappointing than just playing bad. EA was just playing bad.
Oh, yeah.
This is more disappointing, not much in the content that was shown, but for the lack of. And not just for one title like the 7 Remake, but for a couple of those, because we know a lot of those are in development, and this lot of them, we don't know what happened. A lot of the trailers were actually about stuff that we already knew when they were supposed to come out recently, like Dragon Quest XI, the Automata on Xbox One, or that spin-off of Life is Strange. Okay. We had those 2 new IPs, one from Platinum and the other, we don't know the dev about that person with silence and stuff. But that's pretty much it. A couple of the trailers were also in the Microsoft conference. This was just more like a recap than anything. I get that probably a couple of things will be shown either at the Sony conference or at Gamescom in August, because there seems to be this trend where a lot of companies now want to derail a couple of specific announcements for Gamescom in August in order to, redistribute them properly. But I don't know. I genuinely do believe that at least a quarter hour more would have been, necessary. At least a 45-minute thing would have been. Like, for example, even at its shortest, I remember the Nintendo showcases of past year, the shortest one was still like 40 minutes.
And they still told us that they were working on stuff even when they had nothing to show.
This is even shorter than that. So that's disappointing. But regardless, they did show good stuff, the stuff that I'm interested in, and the new stuff that I'm interested in. So there is that at least. So it's kind of a half-and-half situation. It is positive, but not much positive. So that is it. Next.
Alright, that leaves me. Yeah, I mean, it's weird to say, but, despite Microsoft's E3, this is the first E3 where I kind of just felt downright disappointment. It's like you guys said, EA's is still the worst, but that's because that was just downright terrible. But this is, well, essentially, it's a below-average Nintendo Direct knockoff. I mean, even the shortest of Nintendo Directs, they always do at least make sure to talk more about it, and they reassure folks, yes, we're working on it, even when they don't have stuff to show, and I appreciate that because it helps keep the consumers' faith in them. Okay, this conference itself, though, this conference was wacky, and not in the good way. Okay, I will say this, though, it's a conference that pretty much everything shown except for maybe a few, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and some other game I don't recall. Aside from those, I'm interested in every game they showed. However, that's speaking strictly subjectively. Well, now actually talking objectively speaking, looking at this, the job of an E3 conference is to reassure people about current projects, revitalize old ones, show new stuff, and pretty much give people an idea of the future for you. This conference kind of failed in a few regards. Like, sure, we got a new IP by Platinum Games, but we don't know much about it. We got that Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff, only a few new bits. Like, hate to say it, Microsoft kind of stole any luster Square was gonna get from that trailer. I mean, kudos to whoever thought up that idea. I mean, good for Microsoft, but bad for Square, because essentially, like Teo said, this Direct kind of turned into more just a recap of stuff we mainly know. And okay, on the off chance people haven't been keeping up with these games, which is kind of really a foolish thing to think of, considering people who bother to pay money to come to these usually follow up on these, but For the sake of argument, let's say some people don't know about it. Even still, though, there's not really much new stuff that's coming out beyond this year in that regard. Because, hey, another version of Nier Automata, exclusive to Microsoft stores. Essentially the beefed-up version with the DLC included. Not technically new. We got Kingdom Hearts 3. Hey, you know that Final Fantasy VII Remake? We're not even gonna mention it. And that's not gonna really assuage any fears people have had from all the developmental issues we've been having with that. And sure, we delayed Kingdom Hearts 3 again, but we're not gonna really give you any new gameplay footage to go with it. It's like, Square can be pretty tone-deaf at times. Okay, in terms of enjoyment, I'd say the E3 I've enjoyed the most so far is ironically Microsoft's. Second place being Bethesda. Third place being Digital Devolver. Okay, actually Digital Devolver were technically the most amusing.
This conference didn't really go on long enough for you to be bored.
Yeah, this conference was
it was even shorter than this one, and the games announced were only 3, so it's not a good even meter comparison.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, though, like, well, in terms of actually, amusing me, though, this conference didn't really do much for me. Again, it's the second to worst one. That's not to say it was an abomination like EA's, but it was still incredibly lacking. So, grade-wise, currently I would give EA a D, or an E for game ranking sync. I would give Square Enix's, sadly, a C-. I would give Microsoft's a B-, and I would give Bethesda's a B. While I had more fun with Microsoft's, I will admit they still had that elephant in the room problem, which brings them below Bethesda. So, technically speaking on my rating, Bethesda have made the best constructed E3, but Microsoft have the E3 with the most new content of all things. Just not really exclusives to the Xbox One.
So far.
So, yeah, that was Square Enix's E3. I gotta say, back to the drawing board.
Urbi et Orbisoft. Oh, God, that's gonna be another polarizing one.
Yeah, will Ubisoft be able to recapture the spark they gained last year, or will it be a trip down the rabbit hole that we're used to? Tune in for then.
Alright, see ya.
Alright, see you for that.